Guitarist Jesse Cook appears Thursday, April 27th at the First Ontario Performing Arts Centre. Jesse, it's a pleasure to have a chance to speak with you. I've been a fan of your music for many years. A big streaming milestone coming for you this week on the eve of this show in St. Catharines.
What are you talking about? Like that we crossed 500 million a while back?
I'm hearing that you're even closer to 1 billion now.
You know what? It might be. I think we've never had any information from Instagram, and on Instagram I have like 350,000 followers. So when we post videos, they get tons of views, and they weren't part of our calculation. So yeah, it's probably true. You always find out after the fact that, oh yeah, in 2023 you crossed the billion mark, but we're somewhere up there. It's kind of crazy to me because I think of like 1 billion. I think of like K-pop artists, right? Not some guy who plays nylon string guitar, flamenco guitar. Just crazy to me, but it's exciting.
Through your career, have you regularly been surprised with your popularity? A lot of your music is instrumental, and as you say, it's almost niche-like when you talk about flamenco guitar playing.
Yeah, totally. No one is more sort of critical of the whole thing than me. Like I remember when I first got a record deal, actually, before I got the record deal, I released Tempest, my first CD, independently. And I went to one of those factories and I sort of said, can you make 500 copies? And they said, we can, but for pennies more, you got to have 1,000. And I'm like, we're never going to sell 1,000. Why would I need 1,000? Of course, we did it. The 1,000 went out the door in the first week. Then I made 2,000 more. I had to borrow money from the distributor because I couldn't afford it to make the next 2,000. They sold right out. We got a record deal within a month. They wanted me to go to the Catalina Jazz Festival that September, and I said, nobody's going to want to watch this live, like why? And we went to the Catalina Jazz Festival and became a huge hit. And suddenly some store on Catalina ordered 10,000 copies of the CD. And my album ended up debuting at number 14 because of that on the first week. And so it was one of those things where all the way along, I kept going, this is not going to work. Don't waste your time. And despite my, my reluctance, it somehow has done really great. And I'm very lucky for that.
This tour is called the Libre Tour, and it's going back to your album released in 2021. Didn't have a chance to tour on that music for a couple of years.
So yeah, in fact, in 2021, it was going to be the Tempest 25 tour because it was the 25th anniversary of my first CD. We had everything. The posters were done, the CDs were printed, the T-shirts, everything was made. And a week before we left, COVID lockdown happened, and we were done. So about a year ago, we started to tour again, and we were touring on the Tempest 25 CD. But I had to explain it's actually been now 27, 28 years since Tempest came out, and please understand. So finally now we're touring Libre, which is the album I made during COVID, and it was actually the title was a suggestion from fans who were saying, you should call it Liberty or Freedom. I guess everybody was feeling locked in their houses, and that was what they were yearning for, and it just seemed like the most appropriate title I could come up with. So,
Jesse, what can we expect for your show this week in St. Catharines?
I'm bringing the 5-piece band. So we've got a fantastic violinist. His name is Fethi Najim. He's Algerian. He plays violin this way. Like holding it on his knee and using the bow like that, not up here. He plays other instruments. He plays the mandol, which is kind of an oud-like instrument, percussion. We have a fantastic Portuguese drummer named Marino Marques, an amazing young guitarist from Canada named Matt Selleck, and a great bass player, Dan Mincham, who's the funkiest red-headed ginger bass player on the planet. That's the band. And so yeah, I hope people will bring their dance shoes and have a bit of a Roomba party. That's my plan.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Jesse, thank you for giving us some of your time today.
Thanks for having me.